Hello everyone, it's great to be back. I'm Rahul. Today at the Vidyashilp Edcast, we have BMS in focus. I have with us Dr. Shakti Chaturvedi. Welcome Dr. Shakti.
Hello Rahul.
Dr. Shakti is an associate professor at the School of Business Studies at Vidyashilp University. So we begin here. Dr. Shakti, I have gone through some of your research work. Being a management leader myself, what amazes me the most is what is the modern workplace like today? What is Gen Z behavior? Everybody at the workplace talks about, our generation used to be different, and the workplace norms, mannerisms, how to tackle used to be different compared to the Gen Z audience workers, right? I saw you have done some really good research related to Gen Z behavior adoption related to tech. So would like to start with your views on how is the modern workplace and Gen Z like today?
First of all, my pleasure to be on this podcast with you, Rahul. As far as your question is concerned, I feel the research interest of lately for my research profile, which I've got into, is Gen Z and their mobile adoption behavior. So I would connect this with some of my institutes which I was connected to in my previous experiences. I was very fortunate enough in my life to be associated with some of the great institutes like IIM Lucknow, where I started my research assistantship. And from there, I got this idea of reading about Gen Z. I've been also associated with Banaras Hindu University, a very prestigious platform for any researcher to do his or her research, and institutes like University of Petroleum and Energy Studies and Delhi University. I was associated with Indraprastha College for Women, which happens to be one of the oldest college for women. So from there, the knack, the quest for research came into my mind. So of lately, I've seen the Gen Z is a generation which has entirely grew up with mobile technology around them. So mobile has become a part of their daily lives. And if you ask me the characteristics with which Gen Z is living, they are seamlessly multitasking into various things at one point of time. So they are parallelly doing a lot of projects. And they want instant gratification for anything. For instance, they're working on any app. The moment they give prompt to that app, they want instantly the app should reply to them. They're also very adaptable in their approach, flexible also, and they want to work with those employers who are well digitally engaged on social media. So when this kind of generation goes to a workplace, they are actually preferring those employers who can give them work from home kind of an option, flexibility in the style of work, whatever they are doing, flexibility in timings. And they want the employer to give them projects which are more technology based so that they gain more insights, more critical insights on how to do it. So they really prefer those employers who are also well behaved on social media, well engaged on social media.
Understood. So you have years of experience training Gen Zs. So my next question on this is, the workplace has changed. Has the classroom also changed accordingly for Gen Z?
Yes. So what we are doing at Vidyashilp University here to, in a way, train these Gen Z so that when they go to a workplace, they make the environment very conducive and it becomes very fruitful for both the employer and the employee. So we keep them a kind of experiential learning wherein we give them projects and assignments in field from where they do it and learn while doing it. We also expose them to various case studies. Mostly it is real-time case studies, and we ask them to solve the case studies with the help of the business concepts which are taught in the class. So they get accustomed to those kind of environments also. We also expose them to a lot of internship projects which are socially engaging topics. Like in off lately, I've seen the ICSSR, Indian Council of Social Science Research, is coming up with a lot of internships on topics like water, sanitation, topics like soil and irrigation, and topics like how to create a solar power pump for agricultural better outputs. So we also encourage our students to take up those internships and get exposed to those kind of environment. Also, we invite a lot of industry stalwarts to our classes wherein they give real-time stories from their experiences, what they have done, how they have failed, and how they have come back again to the normal resilient posture and worked back again, so that our student get exposed to the battles which is going to forthcome when they go to the outside environment, and they also can be better equipped to tap the opportunities coming along their way. So we do a whole lot of wholesome thing at Vidyashilp University to teach this kind of Gen Z, so that when they go to an environment, they can better engage and harness the potential which stands for them.
That's very interesting. And I would say the thought process itself is very exciting because we need to engage Gen Z. Like when we were students, we kind of followed a path, like, education first, job next, growth. It was very linear.
Yes.
And as you mentioned, Gen Z is very curious, asks question. If it's not engaged in a proper manner, then they won't follow. They are kind of, I feel they have more inherent curiosity. And yes, indeed, that's because the access to information that they have today is something very different. So, building up on this, the Vidyashilp Business Studies focuses on digital business. Now, digital business is also something which is definitely which has transformed the workplace, be it AI, be it any kind of ERP solutions, be it, I see at workplace today, right from basic things like, getting an agent or a co-pilot, to getting content support, to in digital marketing, programmatic advertising. Everywhere the focus is on, creating efficiency through AI and tech. So this is what I have been exposed to. I want to understand how, at a more macro level, how we view digital business at Vidyashilp.
I feel that digital business is a focus in today's time, where the traditional practices needs to be transformed towards digital marketplace. And we at Vidyashilp University understand it completely, and we give a holistic thinking aptitude approach to our students, wherein we involve our curriculum, which is very interdisciplinary in nature. So as you asked very rightly, one of my student, I think a day before, asked in the class, ma'am, why a psychology student has to learn a finance subject? Also, why marketing student has to go for economics, for instance? So I was explaining him, and in the meanwhile, I made him understand that the world is interdisciplinary in nature as of now. In one of the TED Talk, Mamidala Jagadish Kumar, who happens to be the UGC chairman, he also emphasizes that the curriculum in every B school needs to be interdisciplinary in nature now. So I explained him, see, the moment you complement your majors, which you are doing in finance, marketing, HR, with some minor from other schools like data science school, if giving business analytics to you, if you can combine these two things together. So being a finance student, you can also better leverage on Power BI and understand the psychology of investors. For instance, on the flip side, I'll also give another example. Somebody who is from marketing specialization, if he takes data analytics from data science, he is now better able to segment the customers based on AI and power tools. So when I gave him this example, he understood this. Yes, ma'am is talking about holistic thinking, interdisciplinary thinking, and cross-domain thinking, which is the call for today's generation.
And indeed, without a good grasp of tech, I believe, despite having management learning, digital business becomes very difficult.
Yes.
In today's times. At workplace also we see it's okay not to be able to code, but not be able to understand structure, algorithms. That becomes a bit of a problem in today's world, because all the how I see things going around, the change time has become very less.
Yes.
Everything that people are working on keeps on changing in 3 to 5 years.
Yes.
That's how fast things have become today.
Yes.
So one more question on digital business. Are there some courses that we teach which incline students more towards the digital world of today?
Yes. So I would say any student who is taking admission in a BMS has 3 academic pathways which he can undergo. First, primarily, is he can undergo digital business management, which is a 4-year integrated course wherein he specializes in majors in finance, marketing, and soon we are launching human resources also. And subsequently, he can also undergo minors from other courses, as I mentioned a while ago, like he can learn financial modeling, and he can also learn data science analytics. He can also learn legal compliance, wherein he is exposed to different tools like Power BI, R, Stata, and he can build his knowledge base, which is traditional, over modern cutting edge practices like technology driven software and tools. So at Vidyashilp University, Rahul, what I think that we have come a long way, and we need to work more on such kind of curriculums wherein we also teach our students value based learning. So we need to tell them that we need to prioritize people and planet before profit, and we are doing it currently. We are on that way. So along with technology, we are socially driven, we are socially engaged, so that we can contribute at least a little bit towards sustainable development goal as well.
True. And also, this one thing I like about Gen Z today, I feel they are more, aware and conscious about the whole world
Yes.
than us. In our times, again, it comes with information and transformation of the world as a whole as well. But today, I see a lot of young people being very driven towards goals which are beyond just profit. That's a good thing to see. One more question. I'll take a short detour. This is not much to related to BMS, but a personal question to you. Do you have a favorite subject? If I have to ask, like I love marketing. If you have to pick marketing, finance, HR, any domain in BMS, do you have a favorite?
Yes. I have a favorite subject which is known as organizational behavior. Under it, I will also narrow it down towards leadership as a whole, which is more transformational in nature nowadays rather than being transactional in attitude. So if you want, I can go further with explaining.
No, so I had seen a research paper of yours as well. Just a question before I would ask you some questions on organizational leadership. You were talking about functional, interdisciplinary kind of learning. Now, cross-functional roles in organizations is something I have observed over years is not very easy to come to everyone. I've seen a lot of people evolve in organizations being specialists at what they do. But the moment, to put it very clearly, I have seen at most places, cross-functional reviews are the most critical and difficult and tricky ones to handle. Very few people are able to build that level of understanding to, understand the priorities of the other department, understand the point of view of other department. So does interdisciplinarity help in that as well?
Yes. So as you just rightly mentioned, interdisciplinarily rightly help us in understanding the cross-functional dynamics of the workplaces. Because Rahul, I feel that we have very beautifully nomenclaturized this cross-functional thing in digital business world, which is known as VUCA world. VUCA is an abbreviation. We use CA, which stands for, V stands for volatility, A stands for ambiguity, U stands for uncertainty, C stands for complexity. So we are actually living in a world which is volatile, uncertain, ambiguous, and complex. And cross-functional means, for me, as a teacher in digital business domain, that it is all about how well we are interconnected in this complex dynamic environment. I feel the concept is paramount significant as far as to understand the digital business landscape of today. Because the moment I make a student understand cross domain, he is actually breaking a silo in which he was into previously. Breaking a silo, understanding different perspectives, his critical insight, I think, improves after he is exposed to cross domain things, and he becomes more adaptable, as I mentioned, and he is more flexible. He is able to understand that the newer practices are more digital based, but yes, we cannot forget the concept. So concept blended with technology needs to be understood, and we at Vidyashilp is promoting a holistic thinking in every class we go.
So just one more question on this.
Yeah.
In my IMA experience, I really loved the peer learning exposure that we got in terms of getting group assignments. So typically, how it used to happen that in any class, we'll get a topic or a case to solve. We'll be divided into groups of 4 to 6, and then the group will get some time to work on it and come and present in front of the class. So apart from interdisciplinarity, I think this is also an important skill. What we learned more than the discussions was to appreciate that everybody has a different skill. For instance, what I clearly remember is there will always be somebody who will be better in Excel, somebody who will be better in making presentations, somebody who will be better in delivering, somebody who will be better in maybe some other aspect, getting the group together, thinking through. Those were really great experiences. Do we have such projects, assignments, group work here?
Yes. Rahul, I have done 2 projects in this span of 6 months, which I've spent with Vidyashilp University. And to happily getting surprised, I was not knowing that my students will be very much interested to align with my project in different capacities. So for instance, my first project was on PM Har Ghar Surya Yojana, wherein Prime Minister, our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji has launched the scheme wherein the solar power pumps can be installed in agriculture villages which are based primarily on agriculture, and those agrarian outputs can be increased. So many of my students said, ma'am, if we can go to the field, collect data from rural livelihoods and do an analysis on this. So there was another team which said, ma'am, we were good at SPSS in past, so we will be helping you with data analysis. There were a set of students who were ready to interact and go and do physical labor. And there were another set of students who said that I will write the research proposal. So I was very happily surprised at this, that my students have different capacities in which they are eager to learn and ready to contribute to my project. Second project was again launched and called by ICSSR, which was on Indian knowledge system. And I created and curated a topic which was around women entrepreneurship in small medium enterprises, and how can we integrate Indian knowledge system to understand the HR practices run in Indian MSMEs. And when I told this in class that I think that I am able to get through this funded project through ICSSR, my students are again very eager to join me as research assistants, as data collectors, as an analyst, and as report writers. So I think we have a good bunch of students who are very enthusiastic, eager to learn, and as Paulo Coelho says, whenever you want anything, work towards it. The entire world conspires to give you that real thing in real time. And I think my students are very inclined towards it.
This is really great to hear, because as a student, when I reflect at my journey, this kind of exposure really helps. Again, not just to work together, but also to appreciate others and to understand. Because again, when I see any bottlenecks in cross-functional or people to grow in organizations, I see people who are not able to delegate, who are not able to combine work together. Those people find bottlenecks in organizations, because in my experience, what I've learned is, first few years in your career, you are an individual contributor. After that, as the volume of work, the quantum of impact, the expectations at workplace increases, it becomes very important that you are able to get a group of people to get the work done. A solo person cannot do it. So this exposure really helps.
Yes.
So that leads me to a couple of questions. First, to get back to that question on organizational leadership, how do we work at creating leaders? What virtues do we teach students today at an early nascent stage that will help them become leaders in the organization? And who are real organization leaders according to you?
So a beautiful question has come to me, because I'm primarily interested in learning leadership through literature these days. I feel, Rahul, as far as literature is concerned, leadership is all about inspiring, is all about influencing and guiding team, while also being empathetic at the same time and making your followers grow along with you. So that becomes very important in today's time, where leadership is studied as transformational in nature and not transactional in nature. So gone are the days when we used to look at only leader-follower relationship only to get the things done. That was leader's job in past. But now the world has come to where we are talking about transformational leaders, wherein the leader also wants the followers to grow along with him. So he grows along with the followers. Some of the notable leaders in digital business landscape, we have like Satya Nadella at Microsoft, and we have Tim Cook in Apple, we have Indra Nooyi, PepsiCo, and many more to name here. Those all have a lot of leadership abilities which encapsulates them to become a successful person in later life. For instance, I feel leadership can be characterized by having a visionary thinking. He should be having a far-sightedness, and he should be able to behave in an emotionally intelligent manner. So if he's very upset, downside, his face should not look unhappy to his followers. So these things, along with adaptability, flexibility, and a leader needs to be nurturing and nourishing the ideas of the followers. So when I name all these, what at Vidyashilp University we are doing to cultivate, to inculcate leadership qualities in our students. So as I mentioned previously, we are doing few things where we are teaching them to be empathetic. So they need to be good listeners also. And they need to not react on every situation, they need to respond. So there is a difference between reaction and response. Reaction happens quick, instantaneous, and sometimes not needed. But response happens when you hear the situation, take your time, analyze, and reflect it intelligently. So we teach our students to respond and not react to situations coming in front of them. Also, we want them to work with people around. So their social skills needs to be enhanced. So we emphasize a lot of time on teamwork. So our entire mostly internal assessment 2 is on group presentation, wherein we give them a lot of case studies. Our pedagogy is like that they learn through, it can be a hypothetical case study sometimes, but most of the time we are giving them real-time case studies, wherein they have to give different kind of roles to their teammates. So one can be the manager, the other can be the supervisor, the other can be the leader itself, other can be the proposal writer, and somebody who is analyzing and giving his insight. So in that capacity, they work together, so they know how to handle also sometimes criticism and how to progress along with the other teammates. So we are doing, I think, a whole lot of things. We are giving them value-based education. They are taught subjects like ethics in decision making, which is again very, very essential in today's time. Leadership with ethics is, I think, taught in all the branded institutes like IIMs these days. And I was fortunate enough to work with Dr. Himanshu Rai, who is currently the director of IIM Indore. So when I was in IIM Lucknow, I was working with him, and he taught me that, Shakti, there is something known as leadership through literature, leadership through ethics. So when I say leadership through literature, it emanates that concepts of leadership principles have come up from nowhere but from our own scriptures, like Mahabharata, like from Ramayana. And we need to go to the versas in that Ramayana and Mahabharata and understand that the concepts has emerged from there. So we teach our students to go back again, connect to our knowledge system, knowledge repository, which we already had, and follow the principles of leadership from there. We also teach them leadership through ethics, where moral principles, the guiding lights of how to be a torch bearer as far as leadership is concerned is also taught in our classes.
That's great. I was reflecting when you were explaining leadership, the many leaders which I have worked with in my career. One thing, because people say there are different leadership styles, but one common thing which I have seen is good business leaders, they are most humble in responding, in a way that they'll take time and come back to you. Quite often, by common perception, assertiveness is, people feel I am assertive, I am showing leadership. But in business, leadership is quite often about assessing situations. It's about guidance, is what I have learned. As a business leader, we are not there to, impose things.
Yes.
It's about helping the team which is working.
Yes.
And as a leader, you might not always have the answers
Yes.
to the problems or challenges that the team is facing. And the best leaders definitely are the most empathetic ones. They speak with value given to their words. In the initial years of my career, I was surprised to observe the behavior of people at workplace. These again things come from old age sayings in Indian literature and mythology as well. But still, going back to it, people who know less, they tend to be assertive, is what I've seen. People who want to make a real impact, they take their time. They are okay in accepting that, okay, I need to get back to you. I'm not sure. So really, these things being taught in practice, I believe these are essential skills for the students to learn.
True.
One more question. You also talked about a project where entrepreneurship behavior is being inculcated in students. So I have been into startups a good part of my career. So, and it's startup again. Digital business is one. Startup is also a buzzword. Everybody talks about the Zepto founders, right? I was watching a video where one of the sharks on Shark Tank were talking about 20. The age doesn't matter. Today is an era, and that connects with the Gen Z mindset as well. Today is an era when a lot of students, when they are in their early years, they try to start something up. So, what kind of exposure, learning, understanding do we provide to students who are interested in startups?
So we have curated 1 year extensive program for people who are interested in starting up their own venture, in which they are exposed to startup founders and the battles they have gone through storytelling. They come to the classes and they teach them, wherein they can also understand what is a venture capitalist, who is an investor, how to invest in a way where you don't fall prey to biases. So there are a lot of biases in investing, like herd bias, and sometimes unconsciously an investor falls prey to these kind of biases. So how to not fall prey to these biases? We connect our students to venture capitalists and investors who come and teach to our students, and we nurture their ideas, we incubate their ideas, and we at Vidyashilp have a lot of faculty fraternity who are experienced in industry and in startup management program theory and literature as well, wherein the student can learn and gain insights from both sides, practical and theoretical knowledge, and embark the journey of a startup management program on their own.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Shakti. I think it's a very thoughtful route that the School of Business Studies has taken, because I really believe this is one of the most tricky journeys for a student, the business studies, because the digital business landscape is evolving, the Gen Z workplace, their exposure is evolving, and management is indeed one of those genres where every skill matters. So really inspiring to hear all the work that's been going through, and all the best to the department and to you.
Absolutely a delight, Rahul, for inviting me on this podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.